Hello there. In this video I'll show you how to convert a PDF generated from the ECG machine into a bootcamp case. So first we open up the PDF with Photoshop. Okay, click OK. It converts into an image. So this is an ECG with a transparent background. So we click on Layer, New Layer, to give it a nice white background. And we move it to put it in the background. And then we'll fill it with white. Just like that. So now we have an ECG against the white background. Next, I select the layer and click Command plus, or you can use any other zoom function until you see the grid really well. Then click on Image. Make sure the correct layer is selected. Adjustments, Replace Color. Okay, and then with a pipetter, I select the small grid. Okay, make sure the fuzziness is set to a reasonable level so it doesn't select too much, otherwise everything will be dark. And then I change the lightness to make it darker. And as you can see, the grid is now darker. Click OK. Then I click Image, Adjustments, and this is just for a bonus. You can actually change the color of the grid. Let's make it blue. Okay, hit OK. I usually change up the colors just a little bit to make them a little bit more diverse. Not the boring red. Next, you want to keep, sometimes in some cases I like to keep the ECG measurements because they're often provided from the machine. So I usually select it, copy, paste, then I move it to the location where I want it, and then basically select the layer, and delete all the other patient information, unnecessary data. Delete. And down here I like to keep the speed and the frequency, and delete everything else. Okay. Now we can crop, use the crop tool here to crop the ECG. Okay, now we have a nice cropped ECG. And then one more thing for bonus marks we can also do is we can actually enhance the ECG rhythm to make it a little bit more visible. So what I do is I zoom into it, I do select, make sure the right layer is selected, I click select, color range, and then select the black ECG lines. I usually like to keep fuzziness around this level, hit OK. So what it does is it actually selects the ECG waveform, okay? And now I usually do copy, Control C, and Control V. So paste as a new layer. As you can see, it creates another layer which you can drag and put back in the original layer. There. Okay. Now with that layer selected, you go Filter, Other, and click on Minimum. And what it does is, I think 1 is okay. If you want it thicker, you can do 2, but 1 is okay. So click OK. As you can see, it actually creates a nice thick line, so it's easy to see and interpret the EKG. Okay. So at this point, the EKG is ready to be saved and uploaded. So click File, Save for Web. So I find that offers the best compression. And I'll keep it as a PNG 8. Okay, I think that's the best compression for ECGs. If it's a scanned-in ECG, it might be the best compression might be from a JPEG. Okay, and I usually don't downsize it at all, and it's only 98 kilobytes, which is amazing. So click Save. We'll save it as afib.png. Save. Oh, there's already one there. Let's say afib6.png. Save. Okay, now we have a nice ECG. So those will be presented in front of the case. So now let's annotate it. So first, I usually like to annotate each finding in different colors. So let's make this one red and add text atrial fibrillation. Okay, let's make it reasonably small. Okay, and I like with arrows, I select the line tool, and at the top here, I can select the start arrowhead. Okay, and you can have a look at these settings and make sure they're similar. So we can demonstrate that this is actually a fib. You can draw lines for each. I like to use this tool here and actually hold Alt, and okay, it'll copy that layer for the others, for the other QRS complexes. Okay, and then say there's another finding such as F waves in V1. You can always type F waves, and we can keep this the same color, but because it's part of the same finding for atrial fibrillation. But I typically go to blue and purple as my second and third colors. Okay, and now this ECG is finished. There's no more findings here, so click File, Save As, Save for Web. Keep the same settings. I click Save. And I usually put an A on the end of it to demonstrate this is annotated with answers. Save. Okay, now you have 2 images saved. So I go to my Chrome, to my admin interface on the ECG Bootcamp website. Case review is the working cases, so click Cases. Okay, and I like to add a new case name, which is make it a unique AFib simple. And usually I put the main findings here because sometimes you scan through to try to select an ECGs for an exam. It's easier to just look through them and find the right ECG. So click Add. You can click Edit. And here it creates a template XML file that has the case set up. So first thing I do is I upload the images that we created. Let's upload the A, submit. Let's upload the one, submit. Okay, if you have additional images such as cath reports, for instance, you can keep uploading them into here. Okay, as you can see, each image has an ID, 374 and 375. So, and these IDs go into here. So the way XML works is there's an opening tag, this case, and there's a closing tag called end case. Okay, and within it there's different sections in it. So case text, close case text, okay? Case answer text, close answer text. So as you can see it in case text, the first thing it'll display is question, which is what are the abnormalities in the ECG, the ID abnormalities and ID abnormalities, and the question is defined here. And then there's an image displayed. If you want some text here, you can actually click enter and type in some text here. 64-year-old woman presenting with chest pain, for instance. But most of the cases I have don't really have any text, and because I like the users to go through the whole approach to ECGs to make sure they don't miss anything. And for image ID, I put in this one, 375 is the first one, 75, and then for image here, I put 374. Okay, you can also use this insert image function, but you can just manually do it, it's fine. Click Save. Okay, preview case. So as you can see, it created a question with your nice, beautiful ECG here. And click Next, and then when it gives you the answer, it shows your annotated ECG. As you can see, answer text here needs to be defined. So this is the text right here. So you can say number 1, atrial fibrillation. P waves. Sometimes F waves are seen in. All right. Next, we'll define the answers. So as you can see here, usually I don't change this part. This it shows ID abnormalities. That's the question that we put here. And search term is the type of question. You can have multiple choice and stuff like that, but I usually like to keep it at search term for now. And search groups is rhythm, conduction, and ischemia. Is the answers through which they'll search through. So, for instance, there'll be different rhythms in there when they actually type into the text box. There's other ones like devices, but we don't really need that stuff for the ECG. There's also the pass score, which I usually keep as many as there are findings here. So answer score 1. So we put atrial fibrillation here. So actually down here I select this drop-down box, and as you can see it has rhythm, conduction, ischemia, which is what we have in the search groups. This is what the user will select the answers from. In this case, I'll click on rhythm and click go. Okay, and I'll copy atrial fibrillation here. Control C, close that, and we'll copy that in here. So I'll actually compare their selection to this answer. As you can see, open answer, the score is +1, and then close answer. If you have additional answers, you can just basically make another line here and put answer score plus, say there's another bonus finding plus 0.5, and then you can, inside this, you can put another, say there's, if you click on ischemia, say there's T-wave inversions or something like that. You can take this and copy that in here. Of note, everything in square boxes is just the things that they would search, other additional terms that they would type in, and it'll show them this answer, but it's always hidden. Everything in the square box is hidden. Okay? 0.5. That's how many points to get for each answer. And that's it. You're done. So let's remove this because that's not true. Click Save. And then I like to test the ECG preview saved case. That's what it shows up as. And then you can type in AFib here. It shows atrial fibrillation. I click Next. And as you can see, it identifies as the correct answer. So just make sure that I copied it correctly. And my text is here. And that is all. That's how you create a case.